Hey folks, Todd here. Today we're going to show you how to install the BakFlip MX4 from RealTruck on this 2024 GMC Sierra 1500. The tools we'll be using for this installation are a ratchet with a 1/2-inch socket, a Phillips head screwdriver, and scissors. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is install our bulkhead seal. Now it's going to go right across the top of the bulkhead as far away from the cab as we can get it. We're just going to go from one bed cap all the way to the other, and we're going to go ahead and cut it in place. Now what I like to do, I've already gone ahead and cleaned off the surface of the bulkhead with some isopropyl alcohol. You always want to do that first. Then go ahead and peel away a few inches of the seal and go all the way up against the bulkhead. Bear it down. Go ahead and cut it in place. And we'll bear it down to get good adhesion. Next, we can go ahead and start working on the rail. Okay, now before we install the rails, I want to first show you what you're going to get as far as shims go, and I want to explain to you some clamp scenarios. So first of all, you've got two different sizes of shims in your kit. You've got a 1/4-inch thick shim, and you've also got a 1/16 inch thick shim. And so what we're going to do first off, take that 1/16 inch shim, kind of fold it in half, and just cut it in half just like so. We're going to use 1/2 of it on this side, the other half is going to go on the passenger side. So if you go about 10 inches back on your bed cap, you'll notice the metal flange on the bed cap goes right up against the plastic bed cap cover here. But if you come back a little bit, you don't have any support back there. So that's right about 10 inches here, and that's where we need to put our first 1/4-inch thick shim. So we're going to slide that between the bed cap and the flange, and just get it right towards to where it's kind of even with the bottom of the bed cap cover. Now we're going to go to the center of the bed, and again, there's no support there. We're going to take our next 1/4-inch shim and slide it up into place, again, right even with the bottom of the bed cap. And last, we're going to come back to the rear. Now, we've got a couple of different scenarios. We have the tailgate handle that's installed from the factory. So what we're going to use is we're going to be using our standard clamp at the rear. There's also in your kit a stake pocket clamp. If you have this handle, you will not use the stake pocket clamp here. You will use a standard clamp here. If you don't have the handle, what you'll be doing is pry back on the bed cap and slide your 1/4-inch shim right here, because this will install through a hole right about here in the bed cap. This side of the clamp drops down into the stake pocket and it clamps together like so. Since we have this, we're not going to use the stake pocket clamp. What we're going to do is I'm going to use the 1/4-inch shim and slide it right up into here. Again, keep it nice and even with the bottom of the bed cap. Our 1/16 inch shim, what we're going to do is we're going to peel this back and slide this in place right at the bottom again, and we're going to let that hold in place. Now, if you've got the 1/4-inch shim here, you will probably need to peel the adhesive to stick it in place so it doesn't fall out while you're installing everything. So next, I'm going to go ahead and discard this because I'm not going to use it. Just using my regular 3 clamps, let me go ahead and grab our rail. Now what this is going to do is going to hang on top of the bed cap. So the flange goes towards the outside, the prop rod goes to the inside, and then over here we've got the drain cup that faces towards the cab, and here's the drain spout on that drain cup. So if you have no bed liner, a drop-in bed liner, or a spray-in bed liner, you'll want to take and attach your drain tube, and then you can route that out, cut it to size, route out a hole up here if you have a spray-in bed liner or no bed liner. Or if you have a drop-in bed liner, there's usually an opening around this tie-down cleat. You can route it through that opening there. We have a Husky liner, so this is all waterproof material here. So we're actually just going to let this drain spout drop down between the liner and the bulkhead, and it will filter out through the natural weep holes of the truck. So I'm going to go ahead and set this in place. I'm going to rotate this up and show you guys that this has a channel that runs all the way front to back inside here. So I'm going to go ahead and set this down, and I'm going to show you the clamps. This is a standard clamp. We have two different types of clamps On ours, we're only going to be using the standard clamp, but I'm also going to show what you would be using, the way you would use the stake pocket clamp as well. So whatever clamp you have, what you're going to do is take it apart. So we're going to take the bolt out and set the bolt and washer to the side. Then we have the two halves of the clamp. The inside half is threaded. We're going to set that to the side. The outside half is got the long oval hole. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the rail, set the clamp inside the rail, kind of push in and let it click into place. And now I can adjust that backwards and forwards wherever I want and line it up to where my shim is going to be. So this is all the way up towards the the bulkhead, and I'm lined up to the shim here. So I'm going to take my second clamp back, rotate this up. Here is my shim. So we're going to take and insert the clamp into the rail and click it in place. And that is in line with our shim. And rear clamp, the exact same thing. If you did not have the handle in the rear, you wouldn't be using that clamp. You would be using this clamp. So that would basically click into place the same as the others did, and it would line up to a hole that's right about here in the side that we can't see because we've got the handle in the way. But then that would bolt through the stake pocket. Let's go ahead and rotate this down. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out of the way, grab the other clamp half and slide it in place. And what I want to do is I want to kind of rotate it up to where this clamp half is actually resting inside the upper notch on that clamp. So there's two notches there. We want to rest into the upper notch. And you want to hold that in place and thread the bolt in. Get the bolt threaded in hand tight first. We're going to take a 1/2 inch wrench or ratchet and start tightening that down. We're going to bring it to 10 foot-pounds. All right, front clamp, we're going to do the exact same thing. Go ahead and rotate that up. Get the bolt hand tight first, and then snug it down to 10 foot-pounds. Get it into that top notch, that upper notch. And rear clamp, the exact same thing. All right, repeat the same process for the rail on the opposite side. All right, so this is the cover the way it comes out of the box. Now I want to point out, here's our latch with the strap attached to it. If you grab a hold of this portion and you pull it back, you're going to see the A panel or the header panel. What we're going to do is fold that out. We got a piece of tape here that we're going to want to remove. And then on the other side, we have another piece of tape. It's going to expose two holes. Now, those holes are going to be what we attach our clip receiver to. Before we attach our clip receiver, we first need to attach our seal to the bottom of the clip receiver. So we'll peel that seal off of and line it up to the two holes and then bear down. We're going to set that right there for right now. In our kit, we're also going to have a couple of threaded inserts. Now, those threaded inserts are going to go in from the back side of the holes. And I'm just going to hold those with my fingers and set this here. Make sure the opening is facing towards our clip. We're taking our kit. We've got a couple of Phillips head screws. They're going to go down through the holes. Get those both snug down. Don't need to over tighten them. Just get them nice and snug. Next, when we fold this back, down here we're going to have a little channel. That channel is for our cover retaining clamps. So this is what the clamp looks like. What I'm going to do is loosen up this star knob and push up, and that's going to reveal we've got a carriage bolt. And that carriage bolt is going to slide in here, and the square head of the carriage bolt is going to be trapped inside there so the bolt can't spin. So I'm going to slide that in place, then go ahead and just snug it down temporarily. So next, we're going to go ahead and do the same process for the cover retaining clamp and the clip receiver on the opposite side as well. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and take the cover and set it up on top of the rails of the truck and let the A panel fall forward and drop right over top of the bulkhead. Now I'm going to bear down a little bit and then slide it forward until it actually contacts the bulkhead. Once the frame has contacted the bulkhead, I'm going to go ahead and start folding it back. First, make sure it's nice and centered, side to side, and then one panel at a time, we're going to fold it back towards the tailgate. Now, each panel, we're going to make sure that we got it centered side to side as we go. And you'll hear those slam latches latch into place. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to check engagement at the tailgate. Now, I'm going to make sure that it's not latched all the way down when I close the tailgate. And then I'm going to bring it up, make sure everything's nice and square. All right, that looks perfect. So now what we're going to do is lower the tailgate. Then since this is already aligned, we're going to very carefully fold each panel forward so we can then attach it at the bottom. Okay, now that we've got everything aligned on the rail exactly where we want it, we're underneath right now on the driver's side. This is our cover retaining clamp that we have attached to our A panel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and loosen this up. That's going to allow me to drop this down. So we're going to slide that over, let that lock down, and snug that down. You don't need to over tighten it, just get it nice and snug. Repeat the same process for the opposite side. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to install our cab bumpers. So if we kind of fold the cover up towards the cab, don't let it contact, but we're going to see the areas where it gets really close to the cab and where it would contact the cab. I've already wiped down this surface of the frame with some isopropyl rubbing alcohol. Next, what I'm going to do is peel one of the cab bumpers off of the adhesive backing and get that lined up right with the top edge of the frame. And then we're going to bear down to get good adhesion. Next, I'm going to come over here, let it rock forward, and right about here, I want to have that cab bumper where it just contacts the window, not the frame. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this one off. There we go. Now to the other side, the exact same thing. All right, here we go. Well, it's just that simple, and that concludes the installation.